there might be persons who would like to become active in this kind of operation. Why don't you give us some information relative to that?
Well, basically, how I helped Fruit Trail is we have a wealth of information. I have the Congressional Yellow Book that lists every elected official across the country. I have the Federal Yellow Book that lists every federal department across the country. I have the Corporate 1000 that lists the largest corporations, the board of directors, the whole thing. We have a wealth of information. And when Fruit Trail called asking about information pertaining to that, I just put her in connection with our national office, because we have an Office of Program Support, we have economists there, we do all kind of research studies, and we have all kinds of data. So I guess one thing that I'd like to add, or I want to impress upon the listeners this morning, is that if you need any information pertaining to business, particularly on the federal level, that you should first call the Minority Business Development Center, because we are linked in to the network and we can get you to the pipeline. So the first stop should be at the Business Development Center. You may later be referred to the Tennessee Minority Purchasing Council or the Small Business Administration or the State Office of Minority Business Enterprise, but we know who all the players are in the city as it pertains to small business development and as it pertains to providing services to minority businesses.
Now, what do you find are some of the major problems of people calling you who might be interested in developing a business?
Well, one of the problems is they don't know anything about what it is that they're going to do. They had this dream overnight.
An idea.
An idea. So what we do is when they call, we send out an information package, things to consider before going into business. And if you want to talk to the Minority Business Development Center about a loan proposal, that'll give them an idea to rate themselves. You know, have they ever managed a business before? Have they talked it over with their family? Do they have the traits of perseverance? Are they determined? It goes on, yes and no. So they can evaluate that. Then things to consider before going into business. Then I think if you want to talk about a loan proposal, what kind of research have you done? Do you have a personal financial statement? Have you investigated the market? You know, it just goes on and on. They bring that information in to us, and then we have sort of like a preliminary screening, because we cannot service all people. Our staff is small. We have 4 consultants that specialize in different areas. We have a heavy highway construction consultant, a general construction consultant, a marketing consultant, and a finance consultant.
Hold a minute now. In each consultant area, heavy highway construction and et cetera, is this person an expert in all of these areas, and he can give a person who might have some idea and a viable idea dealing with a business ways in which he or she might go?
Exactly. And in terms of, most of our activity is in the construction area, because we as a group of people have a lot of skills and crafts. We know how to pour the concrete, we know how to lay the bricks and things like that. So we have a lot of our activities in the construction area. And so we have a lot of tools available to us that are not available to a small business. We have the Dodge Scan, where we can get the microfilm from the Dodge room, and instead of having big gaudy plans, we just read them on a on the microfilm. We have the Dodge reports that we access on the computer that we can sort all kinds of ways. We have other information systems that can assist you with marketing, and a system called Estimarket, which can tell us what the market potential is for specific categories of businesses. We have SuperSite that reads all the demographics within a 3-mile radius, 5-mile radius, whatever it is that you need. So we have a wealth of information that would not normally be available to a small business. A Sears may have this information, or other major companies. So that's another advantage of using us, or coming to get some of the information that we have, and it can kind of help them have an advantage in planning and doing their business.
Very good. Ms. Smith?
I'm sorry, what is your question?
Well, do you have anything to add in terms of the kind of information that you're trying to pull together with her information?
Well, the report was very instrumental as far as giving us the groundwork for knowing what we would need to have in place in order to take advantage of tourism dollars.
Now, what would a Nashvilleian have to have in place now?
Well, I'm looking at Nashville as a market, okay? There needs to be, of course, medium available to access information to tourists. or potential tourists or conventioneers. There needs to be entertainment, recreational, shopping opportunities available, historical and cultural opportunities. And those are the general things that are involved, special events as well that may take place. And we have a lot of that already happening in Nashville in the Black community. We have the Van Vechten Gallery. We have the recent Freedom Tour ride that was done with ABT. Tennessee State just recently started a School of Hotel and Restaurant Management, so there is even a vehicle to support more tourism coming out of our community, business opportunities. There are events like the Midweek opportunity that comes along from a professional level.
And we want to talk about that as well.
From an entertainment perspective and cultural, educational, there's the African Street Festival. So there are a lot of these things already in place. We have businesses up and down Jefferson Street, throughout the entire community that can take advantage of wherever tourists may want to locate. Recently, when Bobby Jones's gospel explosion was in town, I talked with someone at Travel America, the newly formed travel agency, and they told me one of the things that the people coming into our market, primarily Black people that had come here for that event, they wanted to tour Black Nashville. They wanted to see Fisk and Meharry and TSU and ABT and what's all involved in our community, and they put a tour together for these people. And so it's already happening. It's just that since it's happening, are we promoting ourselves to take best advantage of it and to provide the best service for tourism from this perspective? We've got the Gospel Music Awards in this month, that occurred this month. And so there's always opportunities to tap it. You know, there are opportunities that are happening that we didn't necessarily initiate in the minority community, but we can tap them just the same.
Now, you also mentioned the NAACP